All right, welcome. I am about to get started. I think I figured out the audio problems with the emulator. If they come back, then we will switch back to music. Oh, and of course, right off the bat, there we go. Audio was fine, but the video was not, so there we go. Also, I'm having to sit a few feet back from my computer because there is still a cat asleep on my foot. So I'm going to try and lean forward to the microphone to talk. But if I'm quieter, that's why, because I am having to sit a lot farther back than usual. Jam Bebsy, I am going to try to make this a zero death stream. We will see how that goes. And the one reason I have not put Spoop in the PC, because Spoop is literally the only Pokemon I have that can smash rocks. Okay, let's see. Need to try and get some levels on Moon Egg now. Took me a second to remember that that is not a fairy type in this generation. Also, does anyone know how that Pokemon's name is pronounced? Because I know Togepi and Togekiss. So is it like Togetic? Togetic? I've never heard it spoken, so I don't know. Jam Bebsy, you're so glad that I have the text box. Your stream had crashed and went to have known because starting soon. Of course. Oh, and I can't switch Catch Coon because it's in an outrage. Oh no. That's not good. What? Oh, so that's how it's pronounced. Okay. Thank you for clarifying. Oh. Sure, we'll give an interview. Short and sweet description of the battle. Let's see. Feelings. Disappoint. I'm worried about it knowing flying attacks. Oh, and we've got a couple routes coming up soon where we'll be able to catch new Pokemon. Last run, we even got the Togepi that knew Self-Destruct and Explosion up ahead. Oh. For real though, if I ever get to... Why do you know Fire Punch? Okay, that's not too bad. If I ever get to where I can make bets and polls and such in Twitch, that is definitely one I am going to make for Nuzlocke, is will I lose a Pokemon this stream? I think that'll be a fun one. Oh, let's see what we can catch in the grass first. Chan Bebsy, you'll always vote yes, but I'll have to forgive you because you'll definitely subscribe as well. Well, thank you. And Azumarill, I'm actually excited about that. Just vote the minimum amount that you can each time. That way you don't lose too many points. I feel like Drill Peck will be too much. Okay. I have to remember what attacks everyone has. Bone Rush and Shadow Ball. Yeah. Plus Hyper Fang won't hit. But knowing my luck, it's going to use Crunch or something ridiculous like that and take out Ice Crevice. Alright, what am I going to name you? Just as another heads up, you think this is another route that continues after the cave? It is. I remember that from last time. I want to say the desert is technically part of this same route. I forget if it counts as a different area or not. I guess an easy way to check would be Pokelinks. Oops. Actually, I don't know what happened to Pokelinks. It seems to have closed on its own. Uh-oh. Yeah, Pokelink stopped for some reason. Let me get that going again. There we go. I believe the deserts is the same route, but the tower in the deserts is not. Yeah, that sounds right. And for some reason, Pokelink keeps crashing. I have no clue why. Okay, there we go. Now I need a name for this Azumarill. It's not a good day with technology at all. Hmm. I'm gonna go with Big Blue. Oh, I just saw your suggestion. I'm sorry. Octazooka, interesting. Also, Hyper Fang is nice with huge power. How's everyone's health? Moonegg's got a little bit of a scratch on it. You like Big Blue, like Big Green, but blue? What's Big Green? I don't really have... Big Blue... Octazooka would be good. I'm worried it's gonna pull something silly on me, though. Oh, geez, and Fury Cutter does very little damage. Oh, and that... I don't like this. So close. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if I had left Big Blue in there, its Rock Slide would have killed it. Considering how much damage Fury Cutter did. We'll leave Moonegg out in front. What is with the trainers in this area having pseudo-legendaries? I really wish Azumarill was a fairy type in this generation. What is it with the trainers being called Robin? Was this trainer named Robin as well? Yeah, he is. It's a good question. That's... How many have we fought now named Robin? I feel like at least 3? Two or 3 this run, but also at least 1 last run. Yeah, that sounds... Why does everything know Aeroblast? I feel like Aeroblast is like the Gust and Peck of the randomizer. Or her name was Robin. I thought we were fighting this guy still. Okay, so this is the guy with the Metagross last playthrough that cost us Durnple. It's a weird looking giraffe. He stole our Dunsparce. He stole Durnple. Last run he killed Durnple. This run he has Durnple. What TMs do we have? I was hoping Big Blue would be able to learn Body Slam. Well, those hikers were at least a lot nicer than the ones on the previous run. Let's see what we can find here. Nothing wants to fight us. There we go. And another ghost. Alright, gonna try my usual strategy. Throw a Pokeball, see if it works, and if not, switch to something weaker. I think Big Blue might be the only one who can hit it without killing it, though. I'm gonna try one more Great Ball. There we go. I'm gonna go with the name you suggested earlier for this one. Now we have our zoomies. You looked away for a second, was that the Master Ball? No, that was a Great Ball. You actually scared me for a second. I thought I had actually thrown the Master Ball by accident. Okay, let's see if there will be something they have that Big Blue can take on. Ooh, come on, Big Blue. Whew. Drill Peck should take it out. There we go. I love all the trainers this run who, like, lead with something big and strong. And then they bring out, like, a baby for their last Pokemon. Oh, I didn't even think to look what all Zoomies knows. There it is. There it is. Mm. And none of my attacks will hit now. If I ever run into a wild Metagross that I'm able to catch, I think that is going to be what I use the Master Ball on. This is a scary double battle? Yeah, that wasn't too great. Came out unscathed, though. And I want to see what Zoomies knows. Shadow Ball, Nightshade, Nightmare. 33. I might. Once I've gotten Big Blue to a good level, I think I'm going to put the experience share on Zoomies, and I might use Zoomies instead of Ice Crevice. This is going to bring Spoop back from the dead, but still, we're not allowed to use them. If we get to a point where he is our last Pokemon, that's the end of the run. Let's see what the reporters have to say about our battle. In a dominating performance, we were flattened, rolled up, and tossed aside. Robin is ruthlessly strong. Here's our impressions after having battled our featured trainer. I lost confidence in myself as a result of our encounter. We were beaten before we could launch a single attack. In spite of that, Robin's battles are worth seeing. I recommend confident trainers to challenge Robin. After our battle, we asked Robin for a succinct summary. Trainer replied, disappoint. Robin's Pokemon, Dustox and Pidgeot, and disappoint. There. That's deep. There's deep significance behind that quote. It's no surprise, a good trainer has good things to say. That's all for today. See you again on our next broadcast. Oh yeah, we can go up this slope, and there's someone we can battle down here, right? We have a Pokemon in common now on our teams, Jay and Bebsy. Is that, Shuppet? You're running a Shuppet too. That's right. I thought there was an item down here, but I must be misremembering. You were running a Pidgeotto for all of 5 minutes. Well, if they're anything like the Pidgeotto in this run, they explode. They're hard birds to hold on to. You did buy that self-destruct TM? Anyone capable of learning it? Snorlax? I think you know what you have to do then. Jambebsy, feed him too much and he explodes. How are the levels? You will, but the setup right now is rest, snore, belly drum, and strength, so you're not messing with that until later. That's fair. If I were in the same position, I wouldn't mess with it either. Oh, why is Octazooka so bad? I really need Horsey. At least Toglo hasn't been buffed in this game yet. Well, I turned on the setting that buffs attacks to where they are in later generations. What does it do in later ones? Because right now it's increasing special attack by 2 stages. +3 instead of +2. I'm not gonna risk it. Oh yeah, I'm glad I switched, though. Ooh. Good job, Ice Crevis. Tailglow is super strong. If only it wasn't exclusive to Volbeat and 1 Ultra Beast. Which Ultra Beast is it? I actually never played around with any of them. The electric one, Xurkitree. That makes sense. I would have guessed either it or one of the bug ones, but the bug ones are both physical. Xurkitree is the one that interests me the most. Well, other than Poipole and what's its evolution? Naganadel? Naganadel? One of those. Yeah, I really like it as well. I have a shiny one too that I never used. Uh, yeah, I love it. Like I said, circuitry, I like it, just never really used it. Um, and I also like, what is it? Blacephalon, the exploding head clown one. But again, I've just never used it. I just like its design. You're jealous of the shiny Naga Noddle? It was I'm pretty sure I got it from an event. I know I want to say the one you get in game is not shiny locked either in Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. I think. Don't quote me on that. But there was also an event to get a shiny Poiple. Meditated too hard. Big Blue went big boom. On a brighter note, I do agree with you that Xurkitree is a great name for a Pokemon. And I'm pretty sure that's the correct spelling as well. Big Blue up. Oh, I just realized this Machamp knows Rock Slide, and I can't do anything. This might be it for Catchcoon. Oh, good job, Catchcoon. Okay, so Ice Crevice is a safe switch. Should be anyway. Unless it just pulls out a dark move out of nowhere. Which even then its special attack is bad, so it would have been fine. It was a safe switch. Robin used Octazooka, but it missed. AI uses Rock Slide, 100% accurate. That tends to be how it is. And Octazooka even lowers accuracy, right? And it has like 85% accuracy for no good reason. Other than, I guess, it's a decent-ish damage-dealing attack that can lower accuracy, but I still don't think that's that useful. Okay, well now I have two Pokemon on my team that I cannot use. And I'm pretty sure I'm still in a situation that I am going to have to keep one of them on my team for Rock Smash. So let's see who our replacement will be. I will take that. And it knows Flamethrower. Perfect. Not perfect. Bye, Zoomies. Half my team is dead. I like that I am now back to the Pokemon that I started this stream with. And you are a starter, which means your catch rate is awful, which means this is gonna be... Ugh. Thank goodness. Yeah, it was easy. I spoke too soon. I feel like starters have just like really bad catch rates though, since you're not really meant to be able to find them in the wild. But it might actually be higher than I think, now that I think about it. Anyway, I need a name for my newest teammate. You feel like they are bad, but you've caught like 5 starters in your run and they are all dead? Oh, that's awful. Yeah, I want to check the catch rates on Quilava real quick. I'm curious. And I need to figure out a name for this boy. Okay, catch rate is 45. That's not bad. That's a lot better than I thought. I thought it was like 10 or something. Um, hmm. I'm gonna name you Roy. Since we were talking about Fire Emblem earlier, and Quilava kind of has a similar color scheme to Roy. I always found it strange that that lady kept asking you if you would like to take a rest there. And I'm gonna kind of try and get to the next town without any battles, or as few battles as possible, so that I can switch Pokemon. Jam Bebsy, watch no more trainers have steel types now that you've got a new fire type. That's how it's gonna be until Roy inevitably dies, and then everyone afterward will have steel types. Also, I just realized I forgot to take the experience share off of Zoomies, I think. Yep. Two new routes for anything big goes down. Up to 2 new friends. Hopefully, I do not lose them as quickly as I lost the last 2 friends. I still cannot believe that Medicham knew. Was it explosion or self-destruct? It was one of those. I also noticed in Pokelinks on the party tab, it shows the natures for all the Pokemon. And the nature for Zoomies, my Shuppet was adamant. And considering Ghost being physical in this generation, that would have been nice to have. Okay, I think I actually don't need Rock Smash for a little bit. I want to say it's actually possible for us to get pretty far without Rock Smash. I know we can at least get to the next gym. And the gym after. Oh yeah, and I should go back to the previous route and fight the trainers there. Oh yeah, let's see what this guy's Poochyena has been up to and doing too much of. Any guesses? Exploding. Crunching. That is actually really nice. Oh, I could put that on Roy. I'm gonna hold on to it for now. But I think, unless I find something else that it will just be a lot better on, that might go on Roy. Yeah, hold off because that is a great move to save. Yeah. Especially since it's normally Roar, so that means a lot of Pokemon will be able to learn it. I do know what I am like for killing things. That and Crunch would only be marginally better in situations where it's super effective than just using flamethrower. Unless flamethrower is resisted. Because of stab. So yeah, definitely a good shout. It's gonna hold off on that. I'm gonna risk it. I feel like whenever I try to do things cautiously, everything goes south. And the moment, like, if I instead decide to just kind of risk things and play loosely, it seems like everything goes alright. Usually. Maybe. I am really appreciating the trainers on this route, though. Hmm. I'm going for it. I should not have gone for it. This is gonna be bad. Oh, thank goodness. If it had gone for Thunder Punch instead there... But thankfully, it seems like the AI just does not really know how to handle the randomized movesets. I forget, does he give you dig? No. I feel like I did this exact same thing last time too. His brother gives it to you, that's right. Oh, and that one does not get randomized. I guess that makes sense. Because I know Secret's power doesn't either. So it seems like stuff with field effects are static. And this is our first encounter. Aww. JM Bebsy, your dig wasn't dig? There might be a setting that I used, or that you used that I didn't. You're sure it wasn't? You don't remember what it was, but it wasn't dig? Yeah, I totally believe you. I think, like, there must be some setting that we just had different settings. Now I've got to figure out what to name this little one. You remember the text being funny? Like, I'll give you this TM so you can be like my brother. Bullet Seed. You know those fossil maniacs. Shooting bullet seeds. Also, I was just looking at Pokelink. Roy's nature is brave, so plus attack minus speed. Which is not particularly useful. Oh yeah, I need to figure out a name. This is a hard one. I can't really think of anything. First thing that popped in my head. I don't have any explanation. It just popped in my head. And you are holding something. A Lepaberry. Razorwind and Sweet Scent? Is this original Dermple reborn? Is that what's happening here? I really wish I could just burst in to random people's houses, see that they have a mess, and they're instantly like, here's a doll, don't tell anyone. Dermple Reborn as a... I've always said, like, Cleffa. Others have told me it's Clefay, which Clefay does make sense because Fae. So that's how I'm pronouncing it, now that I realize I never really made that connection. Clefay. But now that I say it, you say Cleffa as well. Yeah, like that. I look at it and I read it, say it like it looks like it should be pronounced, which is Cleffa. But a lot of people have told me it's Clefay because Fae. Which I'm like, okay, it doesn't. It's not how it's spelled, but it makes sense. And here's a steel trainer. We thought there wouldn't be any more. Oh, I never looked at your moveset. Paper Voice and Egg Bomb? But yeah, I'm sure there are a lot of Pokemon whose names I just butcher since I I watched the show growing up, so I saw like all of the Indigo League. Um, and then my partner and I watched the Sun and Moon series, which are really good, but I haven't seen any episodes in between, and I've only really played the games, so a lot of Pokemon I just have not heard their names spoken aloud, other than by other people, and even then there's a lot that others I've never heard say. So long story short, if I ever say your favorite Pokemon's name and I get it wrong, I am not sorry. Acid Armor. Also, JM Bebsy, I keep seeing your last message out of the corner of my eye, and I keep reading, I say the same as you, Chief, rather than Cleffa. Also, I forgot that you had Silverwind. You don't think you've ever called anyone Chief? Neither have I. It's just, um, I've got just the chat pulled up on the side, uh, and it's a little bit narrower than the text box on the stream, so it cuts off the lines a little, or it cuts to the next line a bit earlier. And so Clef and Fa are on two separate lines, and that's why I keep reading Chief instead of Clef. There are so many babies on this route. I'm even weak to it, and I am not worried because it's a baby. Petal Dance? Some of the moves these Pokemon know is interesting. Also, fun little thing. I remembered that Rost berries are what heal burn because it sounds like roast to me. So my brain just goes, Rost berries, good for roast. Jam Bebsy, you wonder if that was intention other than it being an anagram? I don't know. I'd like to think it was intentional. I also remember that Leva berries restore PP because it has PP in the name. Oh, that's why I wanted Rock Smash. Oh well. I forget, is there anything? Well, that's a scary boy. I switched in Moon Egg there since Moon Egg has better mixed defense. Since I knew I'd have to worry about fire, and also since Arcanine normally learns a good number of physical attacks and its attack is really high. I feel like I'm going to regret this, but I feel like Roy is finally a high enough level to start taking on some of these trainers. Also, thinking back to your previous message, Shambabsy, about being an anagram, it took me an embarrassingly long time growing up to realize that all of the berries' names were anagrams of actual fruit or just like misspellings of names. Like, you know, I saw cherry berry and was like, those are cherries, but all the others, I think Lepa was the first one that I really made the connection that, oh, that's apple backwards and two letters switched. And then it hit me that they're all like that. And yet I was able to figure out all the Braille in this game on my own. I did not even know that, surely I got Raz. No, I didn't even get that one, funny enough. But the Braille stuff to do the Reggies, I think the game manual had, like, the Braille in it, but I never saw that. I, like, literally figured it out myself. I saw that big open room that had, in the very beginning, the first room in that big hall where you go to unlock all the Reggies, their rooms. It's got all those stones there, and there's 28 characters on those stones, and it kind of clicked with me. I was like, 28, that must be the 26 letters plus a comma and a period, and my guess is they're in that order. And I literally like wrote it out all by hand and translated everything without realizing this is Braille and just looking up a Braille alphabet. So I figured that out, but I did not realize that the berries are just anagrams and such of other berries. Or real world fruit. That's how my brain operates. Jam Bebsy, that's impressive. Thank you. I don't know if I would call it impressive or just stubbornness slash determination. You just use the translator in the manual. Yeah, I got the game and like immediately threw away the manual. Didn't even know that was in there. That's not good. That is very bad. I'm now wishing I had quick attack, because if I feel like this is not going to kill it, and quick attack would have been nice to ensure it. Okay, there we go. That one's even worse. Oh, I should have switched in Catch Coon, because Catch Coon knows Outrage. And I can't believe that I threw away the manual, because growing up, I loved game manuals so much. I would hold on to them and read them, even when I was not playing the games. Even old games that I no longer played, I would read the manuals because I love them so much. But no, for some reason, I got Pokemon Ruby, I put it in my Game Boy Advance, and I threw away the box and the manual immediately. Does this rock have anything? Nope. Bebsy, you loved manuals too. Always read them before you played. They were so good. It makes me really sad that, like, oh, that's a good catch. But yeah, it makes me really sad that they don't make them anymore. I mean, like, on the one hand, that's less paper that's being used, and that's always a good thing. But there was such a nice charm to them that I really miss. It's especially weird getting newer games and opening the cases, and you know, there's kind of the inserts for where a manual would go, like the things that hold them in place, but all that's in the case is the CD, and there's nothing at all else. There's nothing else with it. It's so, it almost feels like how we continue to use floppy disks for the save icon. Like, no, older people will be like, oh yeah, that's that, and the newer people, just like younger people, will be like, what's this? Why is this here? A name for Curlia now. I'm gonna go with Astra. Newer people. Yeah, I couldn't think of younger people. They're new. They're, you know, newer than I am. I feel like my water bottle was really loud just then, and I apologize because I know it is not a pleasant sound. Oh yeah, I should look at Astra's attacks. Quick glance at Pokelinks. Its nature is Jolly, which is plus speed minus special attack. What? This is an interesting moveset on Curlia. Hello? Is that King Tunza? King Tunza? I don't really think I have anything good I could teach it. That's such a weird moveset on a Curlia. Welcome to my Pokemon Emerald Nuzlocke, where wild Pokemon are randomized, as are movesets. So as you saw, my Curlia knew Aeroblast, Thunder, what was it, Egg Bomb, and Sand Tomb. Also, items are randomized. Soft sand. I don't really think that will be useful on anyone, unfortunately. I could put it on Ice Crevice, since Ice Crevice knows Bone Rush. That would be a odd choice, but... King Tunza, should you change your streaming language? Not sure exactly what that means or does, but if you let me know, I might be able to help. Wild Swampert. Oof. You mean stream in English, but you're Finnish? It's up to you. JM Bebsy, is this a new route? I cannot remember if I... No, I haven't caught anything here. Because I know you can get to the edge of it from Rustboro, but I didn't have any way of fishing to catch new Pokemon, so yeah, it is a new route. You might need to come here in your game. Yeah, there's also, if you surf north of here, there's some more grass up there, and I think that is also a separate route. And there's some trainers and some items there. Because I want to say in a vanilla game, not randomized, you can catch Swablu there. And I think maybe Meryl as well. Let me see. I'm gonna hold off on this route. Also, I should have brought something with Rock Smash here. But I'm gonna hold off on this route until I can surf and go north. I know the Pokemon are randomized, but what I catch will be a higher level. And right now, I keep having to do so many replacements that I don't want to train something from a really low level. Don't... Oh yeah, there's another battle here. I'm gonna see if anyone can learn Rock Smash. Roy can, but mm, fine. I'm just really curious what that item up there is. I just want to conserve that flamethrower in case something bad comes out. Ooh, perfect. Since it has a double weakness. There we go. Well, that wasn't really worth learning Rock Smash for. That's kind of handy. Let's see, what items does everyone have? Roy's not holding anything. Alright, let's head toward Mount Chimney now. Which is where my last... Let me finish my thought, or finish what I was going to say, and then I'll get to what my thought was. That's where my last run ended because the save file got corrupted. And then I was interrupted by this med tank because I could have had one of these if I had seen it earlier, and that just would have been really nice to have. Instead, when we were here, I caught a swine up, which died not too long afterward. Let's get a timer ball from him. Pretty sure he gives you the timer ball here. Repeat ball. Never mind. I think there's another instance later where you get a timer ball from one of those guys. I'm gonna be back in just a second. Earl Grey is begging for food. I'm not even gonna go to the be right back page because this should be very quick. Sorry, I'm back. That took a little longer than I was expecting because where I am standing right now, I am in front of a fan that is blowing straight on my face. The moment I stepped away, I started sweating, and I realized, I went over to the thermostat to check the temperature in here, and I realized our AC is not working right now. And it is currently 83 degrees Fahrenheit in our apartment. In Celsius, that is, let me pull up a calculator, 28.3 degrees Celsius. So that's wonderful. And it turns out, I think that's why Earl Grey was getting my attention, because it's really hot in here. So it's the same indoors there. Yeah. It's pretty brutal. That really sucks. Aww. Earl Grey. Just flopped over on my foot. Yeah, our air conditioning unit is really old and does not work too well. And all the other apartments right here, their units are a lot newer than ours. I mean, you can ours is like covered in rust and very loud. You go out there, you look at theirs, and they're like sparkling and run smoothly and quietly. And our property management company just doesn't want to replace ours. But if it's broken, they're required to, so that's a plus. JM Bebsy, AC just isn't common here. I I cannot imagine that. Um, Having grown up in the southeast United States, where pretty much every year there's a when I was young, it was like there'd be like 1 year or 1 day every year that would get into 100-degree Fahrenheit. Now it's basically like once August hits, 100-degree temperatures are very common. So it's you pretty much cannot survive here without air conditioning. Um, it's also not uncommon for during the winter for sometimes the temperature to hit like the 70 degrees Fahrenheit. I don't know what all those convert to in Celsius. It also wasn't uncommon when I was growing up for there to be a couple days each year that it would snow here. Now, the last time I remember having snow that actually stuck was about 8 or 9 years ago, somewhere in there. Oh, I want to see how my Pokemon at the daycare is doing. Jam Babsy, that's as hot as it gets there, but you can't remember it being this hot this consistently for this long. Yeah, it's... I am so sorry. I'm gonna put Flora in the daycare. Like, where I'm saying just how hot it gets here regularly, I promise I'm not trying to, like, downplay how bad it is for other people where this isn't a common thing. Like, if anything, it's like I have a lot of empathy for you because I've grown up in this so long and I know how much it sucks. You still get plenty of snow and you're just a cold weather person. Me too, honestly. Um, like, I love running. Um, it's a huge passion of mine. When I was in college, I did a ton of road races. I did triathlons. Um, I have raced 5 marathons. Like, I really love it. And I love cold weather for it because it's pretty ideal because your body gets so hot when you're running. I have not been able to run here since like March because it is far too hot. And I would much prefer cold weather. It's like, I know for a lot of other people, cold weather, they don't like it because it's harder to do stuff outside, but I'm the opposite, where it's really hard for me to do the stuff I love outside because my body overheats so quickly. Easier to warm up than cool down. Exactly. I don't like this battle. Can't get in trouble for wearing too many layers. Yeah. That's definitely how I feel, that like I prefer the cold because yeah, it's easier to warm yourself up when you're moving. Uh-oh. Catch Coon, thank you. We're so good. And then second, yeah, you just layer up, and if it gets too hot, you take off the layers. I think I have a full restore that will get rid of the confusion. I shouldn't need to do it because this battle's about to end anyway. But yeah, if you get too hot, you just take off layers. But when it's really hot, you can't really do that. It's the only option is to get somewhere cooler. Because I can only take off so much. And also when it gets really hot, it makes everywhere really hot. Speaking of hot, we're fighting Team Magma at a volcano. To be on the safe side this stream, I am going to get to Lavaridge. That is going to be my stopping point for today. Because we are going to get to Lavaridge. Jam Bebsy, you've never been too cold to sleep. Can just layer clothes and blankets. Too hot to sleep is just your life now. Oof. I know how that is. There was... There was like a week where I was not getting to bed until about 2 or 3 in the morning. Just because I was pouring sweat all night and just so uncomfortable. And that was with tons of fans and the AC at full blast. But yeah, I am so sorry. That's really awful. Aw, I'll be back in a second. I'm back. Earl Grey was looking miserable, so I put all the fans pointed toward him. Jam Bevsy, I should hatch the egg before I end. Okay, we can do that. As long as Maxie and none of the trainers on the way to Lavaridge end our run, then yeah. We will do just that. Also, can I just say how good the Magma and Aqua Leader music is? Jam Bebsy, please no Groudon. Thankfully, trainers will not have legendaries. Ugh, I was hoping Flamethrower would take it out. Best leader music? Yeah. I definitely agree with you there. I love the Gen 3 music. I think the only Gen 3 music I'm not a fan of is the Champion theme. It doesn't stick out in my mind as much as, like, Blues Champion music or Cynthia's. Or Lance's. Like, all of those are just really good. But, Stephen and Wallace's themes, like, if you were to play Cynthia, or not Cynthia, Stephen and Wallace's themes to me, and didn't tell me, I probably wouldn't know. I wouldn't be able to guess. Blue and Cynthia are iconic themes. Agreed. Like, I still remember the first time playing Pokemon and getting to the end of the game and fighting Blue, and like those the very beginning, that fast, frantic music that plays. Ugh, it was so good. And Cynthia's theme, also really good. Like, that plays, you know you are in for a bad time. And the piano intro before the battle actually starts. You're partial to Lysander's theme too. I actually don't remember that one. I'll have to listen to it again. I only played through X once. Not a battle theme, but you love Sycamore's theme. Yeah, it's... I agree with that. Really sets the tone of, this is it, your rival, but also the strongest trainer in the world. Agreed. Like, his boast right before you fight him, where, like, he says that exact quote that he is the strongest trainer in the world, and the fact that there's that huge level gap before you fight him. Just good memories. A moment like that I really like is actually in Sun and Moon. I know a lot of people have mixed feelings on it, but I really like the final battle in it, where, like, you get to it, there's no champion waiting for you because the league just started, and Kukui comes up to you and congratulates you for being the champion. and then challenges you to a battle, like one final battle to like keep your title. Oh no. Oh, I wasn't looking. I should have been watching. I was too busy talking, and then I looked over and saw rollout and heard the beeping, and ugh. I'm so sorry, Moonag. And you've been with us the longest too. Aw, I'm now back down to. I am not allowed to have more than 4 Pokemon, apparently. Well, let's see what we catch on the next route. But like I was like I was saying, I really like the battle with Kukui at the end of Sun and Moon because like it's you are the champion and you're battling him as he is a challenger to your position. And like the way I always interpret it is that the music that plays during that fight isn't like Kukui's theme, it's your theme that's playing since it's the champion theme. And the fact that it's kind of a remix of like the Pokemon theme. Like it's a really cool moment to me and I like how it's done. Jam Bevsy, it's brutal too. I'm the strongest trainer in the world. Cue music. Yeah, like especially with those frantic notes playing during the like battle transition. You're considering XY for your next game? XY or Heart Gold Soul Silver? Need a game after the move split? Yeah, like I said, I'm considering Platinum. Just because it's actually the one Pokemon game I have not played. And it'll be nice to have the move split. I'm still debating whether to do randomizer or just play it normally. Heart Gold Soul Silver is fun. It's one of my favorite games. Like it's just a really long game and like it's got the move splits nice. I really like the follower Pokemon. I'm stocking up on cookies while I talk, by the way. Like I definitely recommend that one. X and Y, I only played X one time. Like I think it's a fairly easy one for a Nuzlocke, but there's nothing wrong with that. And like you get a nice mix of Pokemon earlier on. Except you just said you're thinking of permadeath monotype, so never mind about what I just said with X and Y having a nice mix. I'm the strongest in the world, you think you can take me, etc. But nah, there's no talk, it's just, I'm the strongest, let me prove it. Yeah, and he proved it to me several times the first time I played. Uh, I think I mentioned this in the Discord that my first time playing Blue, I lost to the Elite Four a lot and would basically like lose to one member several times, finally get to where I could beat them, and then lose to the next member several times. And that happened with every single one of them. I think I actually got Lance the first time I played. Oh, Mooneg's gone. And then Blue, like, same thing. He steamrolled me several times. Jam Bebsy, not sure yet, but you fancy a bit of a different challenge. Yeah, I've never done the. Sorry, got tongue-tied. I've never done a monotype run. I've considered it with flying, since birds, obviously, and like it's usually like the secondary type. So it gives me a nice, even though it's a monotype run, it gives me a lot to work with. But yeah, I've never. That could be fun. What type are you thinking? If you do that. You've not picked your type yet if you do that kind of run. Could always roll for it. Was either going to randomize it or ask your viewers. Yeah, I could set up a poll for it. My vote is for random because I like the chaos of it. I I keep seeing Moon Egg dead in the party, and I am. Your plan is to use the randomizer for some quality of life, like the easier evolutions, etc. That's not a bad idea. I do like that that's an option, and that you don't even have to randomize the Pokemon. You can just use it to set those, like turn those on. You're thinking of choosing a starter for yourself within the type, but not like a super OP one. Yeah, I'd say as long as you just rule out legendaries, should be good. Possibly one that's not from that generation. So like if you do Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and you were to say Bug, you'd give yourself a Wurmple. You just said you would not give yourself a super OP one, though. You can't give yourself Wurmple if you're going to have no OP. Also, I think I made a mistake and went the route that avoids all the grass. I am not liking Astra's randomized moveset. Okay, we've got some grass right here. Aww! Poliwag. I am really happy with that. And there we go. Wrath or Toad? I prefer Politoed, personally. What am I gonna name you? The way my brain worked just then was I saw your comment of Toad, I thought of Toad from Mario, and then I thought of Princess Toadstool and went with Peach. Though now that I think about it, Toadette probably would have been a better name. You jerk. I'm so proud of you, Amy, for winning that battle. My bird's dead. I'm so sorry, Moon Egg. Gone too soon. Alright, egg time. Alright, time to hatch this and see what comes out. Also, I'm realizing that if I'm going to use Turbo for this, that'll be a lot of steps for the daycare Pokemon. Hoping for Wurmple. Ooh. Enjoy the music. It is really hard to control myself. My fingers are getting tired from this. I'm gonna look for somewhere where I can kind of go up and down. Oops. How close is this thing? About to hatch. Here we go. Come on, Wurmple. Miltank. And according to PokeLink, it is lonely natured, which is plus attack minus defense. Ooh, that is nice. Meteor Mash. Could be a good mill tank, indeed. Okay, the question now. Do we go ahead and challenge the gym, or do we save that for next time? Save it, you reckon? Yeah, that's what I'm leaning toward as well. Whew, might decide to train up. Good call. Because I'm pretty sure we are under-leveled for this. Like, these would have been good levels to have for the previous gym. I don't think they're good levels for this gym. Unless I want to fight the first one so we know what type. That's not a bad idea. What is this moveset, Peach? Water Spout, Overheat, Hydro Pump, Dizzy Punch. I'm only 6 levels behind you, and you're in Moss Deep. Yeah, I guess this one doesn't have as much of a... Okay, rock type. I like that the Magcargo is actually appropriate for the what the gym would normally be. I think this is a sign that we train up Peach next. For next time. This was the gym where, for you, Flannery still had Torkoal, just not as her ace. Do you have, Why did I not use Shadow Ball there? Do you have where they stick to one type, or is it completely random? Oh, I went the wrong way. I want to get out of this gym. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I think that's a good call for ending there. I'm suddenly very exhausted. Probably the heat finally getting to me. So, next stream, we will take on Flannery. I'll probably wait until next week to do that. Don't have a date in mind yet, or a day of the week in mind yet, but I'll let you all know. Thank you for joining today. Thank you for being here beside me as we had death after death after death. But for once, I finally ended with more Pokemon than I started the stream with. So that's good. Full team at the end, just like you said, Jay and Bevsy. So yeah. Have a good night, everyone. I'm going to see if I can figure out what is going on with our AC. We're probably just gonna have to contact the property management company and get it replaced, and that's about time that it was replaced anyway because it was way too old. But stay safe, especially during this heat. Have a good evening, and I will see you all next time.